Well, welcome back to another episode of Wellness Wednesday Inspiration. My name is Fernanda. I'm here with my amazing co host, Dr. Linda Marquez. And before we get started, I do want to wish everybody a happy holidays. Merry Christmas to everyone. And of course, Happy New Year's for everyone who is watching and has been watching us for the past almost 2 years that we've been doing the show. So of course, we're in the middle of festivities, and with a new year comes new resolutions and a new opportunity to create new beginnings. So today is all about resetting you 2022. And Dr. Linda, how are you?
I'm great. It's wonderful to be back here. I know we both were just enjoying our family time with the holidays, so it sounds like you had an amazing Christmas and a lot of fun and just an amazing year. So I'm really looking forward to just kind of, chatting, sharing about all this and I'm excited, but really everything's going amazing. But 2021 was awesome. 2022 is going to be even better. That's what we're anticipating, and we're putting it out there, right?
Of course. And we all know now, by now, after listening to us week after week after week, that basically everything in the world starts by what you create in your mind, right? And so starting the year with a positive mentality, starting the year with a strong mentality, knowing that everything that you do wish and desire, it's going to manifest in your life as long as you keep it in that vibration and as a thought in your mind, presently in your mind all the time. Then you know that you can really manifest anything you want. You are the director, you are the driver of your destiny. And so that's what it's all about. It's about knowing that we can create anything, we can design the life of our dreams if we hold it in present in our thoughts, and we also match that with the vibration of that thing that we really really want, right? And so it's not like, well, I want to I don't know, have a multi-million dollar company, but I'm also always thinking about lack. I can't afford this, I can't afford that, I can't pay for this, I can't pay for that, right? And so it's got to be a match. But knowing that if you match what you think with how you feel, anything is possible for you. And so why don't we start the year 2022 with holding that so present in our minds, raising our awareness to know that we are designing our future every single day. And so maybe it's time to be more aware, more conscious of those thoughts so we can create a different future.
It's interesting what you just said because I think a lot has to do with the questions that we keep asking, right? In our mind, it's like, and we've talked about this before of wanting to like know, well, how am I going to get there? And studying a lot of the mentors, it's just like you don't need to know, but then a lot of our being a type A personality, it's like plan, plan, plan. Do you feel like you're a type A personality? Like,
Oh, certainly, certainly. And you know, that probably has been and continues to be something that I work on every day. That you want to know how, right? Well, I want this, but how is it going to be possible? How is it going to happen? And a lot of people that have worked with us and the Million in You with me as well, they know that we teach that the how is none of your business. However, saying it is easier than actually applying it in your life. And so it's a constant reminder that you want something, you don't know how you're gonna get it, right? But you don't really have to worry about how is it going to happen. You just have to be concerned that as long as you keep it in your mind, as long as you match your vibration, things are going to happen. And the funny thing is that you start kind of being more aware of the what we call coincidences, which are not necessarily coincidences, but are things that you're attracting into your life, people, opportunities, resources, things that start kind of showing up in your life as you match that vibration and as you keep that in your thoughts. And you're like, well, if I would have planned it out and if I would have been so concerned about the how, this probably would not happen. So we got to open up ourselves to possibilities. We got to open up ourselves to the universe, given the things that we're asking for in how the universe wants to deliver them, not how we think it should happen.
mhm, yeah. So I'm going to play kind of, I don't even want to say it, but kind of like devil's advocate because we get this a lot, right? It's like New Year's resolutions. What are usually the top three? Health is in there, right?
Of course.
and finances, and it's usually being more organized or more family time, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times the health seems to be the same one every single year, right? I'm going to get healthy and lose weight. However, you mentioned something about, but it doesn't match their vibrational frequency. And then they just think it's just a diet. And, but it's not a diet that's going to make you, that you're going to lose weight because of a diet. So, how would you answer someone, because we both have had this with patients working them, there's like, well, Fernando, this year I'm gonna try it, but somehow I always start strong and then I just fall off the wagon.
Yeah.
They kind of have that mentality that, I'm gonna fall off the wagon.
Mm-hmm. Well, there is a couple of things, and it's probably one of my most favorite things to work with, because one of the things is if we are constantly creating our future from the past, then we're going to continue creating more of the same, right? And so if you say, well, in these new years I'm going to get healthy, I'm going to release 70 pounds, for example. However, I've tried dieting in the past and it hasn't worked, and I've tried exercise in the past and it doesn't work, and I've tried all these things in the past and they haven't worked, and so I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm going to try it, right? Well, you're kind of just saying and putting it out there, whatever you decide to do may not work, right? And so it's saying, well, whatever I tried in the past hasn't worked. However, I am a different person today than I was 2 years ago, than I was 1 year ago, than I was 6 months ago, and even yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we are able to redesign ourselves and recreate ourselves every single day of our lives. And so that's one of the things, kind of creating from the present and not creating from the past. And then the second thing that I think is the most important thing is also acknowledging and recognizing that we cannot change who we are unless we change our subconscious beliefs about who we are. And that's the most important thing. And so consciously and from the knowing mind, we say, well, I know that I want to get healthy. Well, I know that I should eat healthier. I know that I should exercise. I know that I should stop smoking, right? I know that I shouldn't do drugs or whatever. Consciously, we know it. Subconsciously, though, we have identified as a smoker, or we have identified as someone who's obese, or we have identified as someone who is unhealthy. And so, unless the subconscious beliefs that we hold about ourselves change, then we're going to get more of the same. And so, you consciously start making a choice. Whoa, 2022 is going to be the year. So, I'm going to start going to the gym. I'm going to start going to the gym and I'm going to do my best. And so, you go on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday, you're like, I'm sore. And then Friday's like, well, I'm kind of busy. And then Sunday, Saturday, and Sunday, well, it's the weekend, right? I'll start on Monday again. And so you see, and you probably all of us listening, including myself, have had that experience in different areas of our lives, that we say, we're going to change this, so and this is it, and I'm tired, I'm not change, and then 2 weeks later we're back in the same boat, right? And the reason why, it's because we're consciously trying to change, but subconsciously we are the same. And so unless our subconscious changes, we are always going to go back to our baseline, that image that we hold of ourselves. So my advice, my recommendation for anyone out there listening is that if you really truly want to change something in your life, if you want to become more organized, if you want to change your abundance, your finances, if you want to change your health, if you want to change anything about your life, you must recognize what are the subconscious beliefs that are holding you where you are, and start changing subconscious beliefs, the story, your paradigms, the story that you tell about yourself. Because unless that changes, you are going to make a conscious change, but ultimately sooner or later you're going to go back to baseline. And so that's the case of people that win the lottery and 2 years later they're back where they started, or people that go in these amazing journeys of weight loss and they lose 200 pounds and then 2 years later they're back where they started, right? Because they consciously never changed.
Yeah. Yeah. I love how you share that about, well, one, it's the awareness and the identity. So this weekend I got to watch King Richard, which was about Serena Williams and Venus Williams, and how, their father was so focused on creating two champions. And it was amazing because it's supposed to be based on a true story. And they were at the tennis courts in Compton. And if you know Compton, it's not a really, it was kind of a lot infested with gangs, and just a lot of people have trouble, getting out of Compton alive. And most of them end up with just subpar jobs and really never reach their greatness. But it was really neat because he had the girls make posters with affirmations, and they were put at they were put up at the tennis courts, and it was just such, such brilliance there. And I think we have to do that as well, because subconsciously we're picking up on so much and we're not even aware. And it's almost habitual, because there's ways to reprogram your subconscious mind. I mean, one, the fast track is working with plant medicines. I mean, but not everybody has the ability to go work with plant medicines. You can shift your subconscious mind so quickly. That's like, woo, sky high. Okay. The second thing is meditation. Definitely meditation, as you and I got to experience Dr. Joe for a whole week. And that's just been transformational, because you're in a different place and you actually are creating from a different mindset. And third is repetition. And
Mm-hmm.
it's that repetition. And I know you're a big student of Bob Proctor, who talks about the repetition. And he has a lot on YouTube about, I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me through multiple sources on a continuous basis. And so it's just repetition, repetition, repetition. And and that's how kids even learn when they're little. So those are some of the ways, and not, sometimes you just don't know how it's going to happen. But like you said, a lot of it has to do with the law of vibration. Even when a person that needs to release 100 pounds, it's just like, they have no idea sometimes. They're like, I'm 100 pounds overweight. I've always been overweight. So that's where tapping into that subconscious mind of, well, what would it feel like? And sometimes they say, well, I don't even know what it would feel like. It's like, but daydream, fantasize. What would it feel like to be 100 pounds lighter and to be healthier? And sometimes we have to borrow that belief from someone else. Do you find that that's something that you run into a lot? Because people have this doubt, but somehow there's something inside of them that's making them hold on to that doubt, that insecurity, that lack, that I don't know how I'm going to do it. However, if we keep asking our mind, what would it take to do this, and that? What would it take to feel this, and that? Asking that question, and then repetitively saying the affirmations.
Mm-hmm.
So those are some of the three ways of tapping into that subconscious mind, because a lot even has to do, is, I have talked about, with paradigms and a person's thought process and belief on that. So if you want to share a little bit about the paradigms, because I know you totally love that too.
Yeah,
That would be
yeah.
awesome, because that's a huge right there.
It is huge. And one of the things also, kind of just to finish what you were talking about, which is extremely important, which is how we can change our subconscious beliefs. Another technique, or another thing that you can do also, is something that we call living as the wish fulfilled. And so, what you want to
Mhm.
do is, do you want health? Do you want wealth? Do you want strong relationships? Do you want, infinite imagination? Whatever it is that you want in your life, and then you start living as if it's already happening right now. And why is this important? Is because it already exists as a possibility. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a thing that you want or desire, right? And so the simple desire of wanting something different already exists as a possibility. And so
Mhm.
the more that you live as if, right, if you want abundance, for example, the more that you live as if you were already abundant, as if you already had an opulent life. The more that you connect with that vibration of abundance, you are actually kind of creating those wires in your brain, right? You are strengthening those connections in your brain, and so the stronger they are, the more that you're going to be able to sense and feel and connect and identify different situations, and the more ideas that are going to come up into your mind on how you can make that a reality. And so it's kind of like, for example, if you're right-handed and you say, I want to become better with my left hand, and the more that you force yourself to write with your left hand and to eat with your left hand and to, I don't know, hit a ball with your left hand and whatever it is, the better and better and better you get. Through repetition, like you were saying, through repetition, we can do anything that we want, and we can get better, and it becomes easier and easier and easier. And so when we are repeating that vibration, when we are living as if it's already happening, we are strengthening those connections. So we're also raising our awareness to more possibilities that surround that idea and that possibility that, again, that already exists. And so that's huge, right? It's not just saying, well, I want to be wealthy, but I want it in 1 year. My goal is to be wealthy by 2024, for example. And so I'm just going to continue doing the work right now, so I can be wealthy in 2024. But no, you got to feel it, and you got to experience it, and you want to live it, and you want to kind of put on your wealthy shoes and walk around feeling wealthy and feeling prosperous and feeling abundant, or feeling healthy. If you are unhealthy right now, if you have a severe, back pain or knee pain or whatever, it's kind of saying, well, I am going to feel healthy today. And how would a healthy person feel? And how would healthy person walk? And how would a healthy person operate? Right. And so do more and feel more of how you want to feel. So that's something else that I wanted to add to that. And through repetition, it becomes easier and easier and easier. Now, go ahead.
Now, I was just going to mention, because of the health and the wealth part, a lot of times people focus so much on what they don't have, and it's sometimes difficult to just focus on one little thing that's, let's just say someone just they have been sick all these years, and as a result of that, they're carrying extra weight, or even if they've just been sick all these years, it doesn't mean that every single cell in their body is sick. There's still some that are vibrating at a higher energy, and we just have to focus on the ones that are with the higher vibrational energy. It's like, well, look, your heart's beating, your lungs are still expanding, you can move your fingers. Those are forms of higher vibrational energy. And even as you were talking about with the wealth part, it's just like, if we live here in the United States, it's just like you're wealthier than 90 some percent of the people on the planet. So if we just focus even on that and continue, as you were saying, it's almost like act as is, but also putting on that actor, that suit, putting on a pair of shoes that make you feel like Dorothy, or whatever it is, an outfit, making sure that you show up every single day. Sometimes we work from home, so the days that we work from home, sometimes I'm just going to work from home in my pajamas. It's like, no, you have to show up for you. You're showing up for your clients, for our patients. However, we have to show up for ourselves. As you were saying, how does that person look? How does she feel, or how does he feel? So I think that's really important as well.
And for anyone who may be listening and who may be thinking, because I know that the mind talks, right? Well, that's easier said than done, right? What I would say to that, because I have had those thoughts when people say, well, what do you want? Well, I want these, but it's easier said than done, right? Like, it's easier for you to say because you are successful, or it's easier for you to say because you are healthy, or it's easier for you to say because you have accomplished it. And for anyone out there who may be having those thoughts, all I would say is easier to make the change, or to create what you want in your imagination and raise your vibration, than living the way that you're living right now. Because for whatever reason, you are not everyone is satisfied 100% with what we are, and that's a human nature, because we want to expand, we want to grow, we want to continue to expand ourselves. The minute that you say, oh, I'm perfect, I got everything, I have nothing to improve on, then you're deteriorating, you're dying, right? Because
Mhm.
human nature, our soul wants to expand more and more and more and more, and that's what we're here for,
Yeah.
right? And so if you want better health, if you want better relationships, if you want a better job, or if you want a different outcome in your life, it's easier to do the work in here than continuing to do or trying to do the work outside without seeing results,
Mhm.
right? And so it's really trying a different way, and trying a different way that may give you unexpected and amazing results, because ultimately we are creating our external world from our internal vibration.
Mhm. Have you ever done the circle of life where there's a wheel and you rate yourself for like health, relationships, job? I don't know if you've ever seen one of those where
not
you
not
rate yourself.
necessarily that one, but I've done something similar.
Mhm.
Hmm.
So that's a good place as we're talking about resetting in 2022, because at the end of the year, as we were saying, a lot of people, they do a lot of goal setting. I like to do a vision board, and I'll sit down and do a vision board, and kind of just reassessing what was my year like, what I want it to be like next year, and almost write like a letter to myself as if I already lived 2022. Like, this has happened. It was so great. So as we're starting the new year in 2022, I think it's important to have goals, and to so that you have a direction as where you're going. And I always remember this, because a lot of people, they give up. If it's not going their way, they totally give up, because they feel like they got a flat tire, and they're trying to get from LA to New York, and they got a flat tire, and it's just like, you got one flat tire, you don't go and slash the other three. It's just like, you change it, and you change it, and you go on with your merry way. It's kind of like, a lot of times the pilots they're changing their trajectory most of the time. Like, it was like a huge percentage to get from LA to, let's say, Hawaii, and they're constantly changing. They don't give up, and I think that's even some part human nature, that we just want to give up. And it's sometimes easier to give up because it's familiar, giving up, and that's kind of been our pattern, our what we've been familiar with, or even our beliefs, our paradigm, to give up and just reset and go back. And so the importance of, once again, is what we were talking about, is to, I think, writing it down, bringing on the awareness of just making sure every day that we're being aware, I think the mental part, the visualization, the speaking part, and daily just building on those habits, and the people that are supposed to show up will show up in your life. Would you
Hmm.
want to add to that?
Yeah, no, it always starts, it's much easier to start by creating small daily habits than by
Mhm.
trying to change a huge thing. So even if you break it down into, for example, if your goal for 2022 is to become a healthier version of yourself, you don't want to change your whole life immediately from one day to the next, because that's not sustainable. You must
Mhm.
change, again, your subconscious beliefs, and change small daily habits that you are going to be able to fit and accommodate into your already existing schedule, right? And so small changes add up to huge results. Most of the time, huge changes are not sustainable. And so even if you must break it down, and if you say, well, I'm going to change something small every single day today, I would say this sometimes to our clients: even if you're changing only 1% every
Mhm.
single day, only 1%, that's it, of your day every single day, in 6 months, you're going to be 180% better than where
Yeah.
you are right now. And so that's a
Mhm.
much greater change than if you say, well, I'm not going to do any work for 6 months, and then in 6 months I want to see an 180 degree change in my life,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so the small daily habits amount to something huge, huge changes in your life. And so even if it's doing something small, but being consistent, consistency is key, right? We can't just
Mhm.
do something 2 weeks and expect a huge result. And I think in the society that we live in, we're very much into instant gratification. But
Yeah.
anything that is worth having and anything that you're building that it's worth building, it's going to take time, right? You cannot
Mhm.
build the Empire State Building in a week. You know, it took time and it takes a great foundation so you can then sustain anything that you're building on. So
Mhm.
take your time and have fun with it also, right? Not take it so serious, like, oh, it's gotta be. That's another thing, right? A lot of our clients would be like, okay, I did my morning routine, check mark, check mark, check mark, check mark. Well, are you really doing it just to have the check mark, or are you doing it because you want to do it? You're getting involved, you're feeling
Mhm.
those feelings that you want to feel. Are you really seeing yourself, or are you really imagining this life? And so also having fun with it and having fun in that imagination process, right? Like, it's so
Mhm.
cool to imagine ourselves as the person that we're creating, and knowing that that's possible, and knowing that we're always creating every single day with our thoughts, our behavior, our thinking, our feelings. And so see it and also act as if, and have and be aware of those thoughts, and start having fun with how the things are going to start manifesting in your life.
Mhm.
And if you do that, and if you do that consistently, even if it's a small change, it's better than not having any change at all.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's key. It's the little bitty habits that we do every day, because not everybody can. I mean, I feel like I'm a little bit of radical with a few things. Like, I did the 75 hard. I did the 75 days of, like, you have these 5 daily tasks. Um, I was already doing a lot of them, so for me it wasn't that difficult. Then we moved into a next phase, and I'm like, okay, it challenged me a little bit more. Then going into a next phase, which I'm going to be starting again because you have a little bit of time in between, and some people say, oh, it's not sustainable. And for some people, it's been your lifestyle. Like, health, from it comes easy for me because I have done it since I was a kid. I started. That's easy for me. It doesn't mean it's easy for everyone else, but for me it's easy because it's something it's the daily habit that I've had for years and years and years. And when learning anything new, it's kind of the same thing. It's just, all right, I'm going to do this today. And then that becomes such a daily habit that you don't even think about it anymore. That leads to the success of anything. So it's just being mindful and aware of, at the present moment, where am I going to be 10 years from now? And even like health, that's always my priority. Everywhere I go, it's just, okay, what am I going to do? Where am I going to get my workout today? Or what am I doing for this? What am I going to eat? I want to make sure I drink my gallon of water. So, with working with a person who wants to have more success, the daily habit of, like you were saying, just start with one little thing is going to make a big difference. So,
Mhm.
what would you tell a person that, let's say, they want to get more organized because they feel like, a lot of times we hear that if your life's not organized, especially if your kitchen's not organized, if your desk is not organized, you have that clutter also in your mind. So,
Right.
start with that.
So one of the things that I think is important is to keep yourself accountable for what you're doing, the daily actions, right? And so having an agenda for the day. You know, these are
Mhm.
the tasks that I must do today. And usually, if you complete the hardest tasks first, then the rest of the day seems easy. Like, oh, I'm ready, halfway done, even if it's 9 o'clock in the morning.
Mhm.
So having an agenda, otherwise you are kind of just doing a lot of busy work, but not completing anything significant, right? And so what are the things that you need to do? What are the things that you must accomplish every single day? And if you organize your day, that becomes easier for you to track also your own progress. The second thing is having even like 3 times a day, or even 4 times a day, or if you're really, really disorganized, every hour, like a 5 minute thing where you would say, okay, in the last hour, what have I done? What did, bless you, bless you. So within the last hour, what did I complete? What did I have done? What did I accomplish? Right. And so keeping yourself accountable with a list at the beginning of the day, but also kind of like a daily, like a check-in throughout the day with the things that you are doing. And it's really easy to lose track, and it's really easy to, you need to do this, but all of a sudden you are going to start washing your clothes, and you're going to start scrolling through social media, or all of a sudden you have to like mop the whole house or whatever it is, because you don't want to do those things. And so it's recognizing that those paradigms, or those that's showing up, and you tell yourself, nope, I am going to sit here and I won't get up until I finish this job, whatever it takes. And so being accountable to yourself. And the other thing that I think it's huge is having an accountability partner, or being part of a group, or having a support of the people that you want to surround yourself with. So if your goal is organization, how can you have a support group or an accountability partner that is going to keep you accountable, whether it's maybe you sending the list in the beginning of the day and then sending the completed tasks at the end of the day, like, hey, listen, I completed everything that I told you I was going to complete. Or if your goal is health, right, having a partner to go to the gym with you, or having a partner that is going to do calorie count with you, or whatever it is that you're doing, having someone that's going to be able to be there for you and with you, but also that it's not going to make excuses with you.
Yeah.
Right. A lot of times we have friends or neighbors, or we surround ourselves with people that are enablers. And that's not the kind of people that we want. We want people that are not going to take whatever we're saying as an excuse and say, oh yeah, today was a hard day, you'll do better tomorrow, don't you worry about it. We don't want people that are going to make us feel good. We want people that are going to get on our asses and literally, no, you did not do a good job today, but you can do better tomorrow. I know you can, and I know you will, and I want you to check in with me tomorrow, or something like that, right? And so find someone who's on that level. Find someone that has the same mindset. Have someone that have the same maybe desires or dreams, or know what that have what you want. For example, have a mentorship, or someone that's going to be able to keep you accountable. I think that that's huge, and that's extremely important in whatever we want to achieve in our lives.
Yeah, yeah, that's so true. I love what you said about that. Once again, I'm not plugging it, but I am. When I did 75 hard, I just had a whole checklist daily, and I did check it off. I check it off, and some things are like, okay, before I wasn't drinking a gallon of water, and now I'm drinking a gallon of water every single day. If I don't, I feel like, oh. And even I was doing already pretty much, I was walking every morning just to kind of get my mind ready for the day. But to me, I started increasing it more into a workout, and then doing another one in the evening. But as you were saying, just having an agenda, having an accountability partner, and also being accountable and true to you and yourself and your word, because I think you're just having that integrity, and that just builds a lot of character. That's going to be important, and definitely a support group, and finding someone that is not, like you were saying, is not going to they're not gonna enable you. And I think I even have difficulty when I hear other people, I like invite them, hey, you want to go to the gym? Oh, I've got this going on, and I have to just remember, I've got to let them be. They're not at the level that maybe I'm just at a higher level than them. But we will start to find other people that are at higher vibrational frequencies for us to be pulled up, so that we can do and be better. So
Mhm.
I think that's super, super important as
And
well. But
it's also knowing that as you grow in different aspects of your life, a lot of the people that you had in your circle are going to start kind of just they're gonna stay there. And as you continue to grow, you're gonna align yourself with different groups of people, right,
yeah.
that are more aligned to where you want to be, right? And so
Mhm.
as you improve in any journey, as you improve in your health journey, you're not going to hang around with the same group of people that were perhaps doing different things that are not the best things for you. So
Mhm.
it's okay to also let go. You don't have to stop loving them. You don't have to never speak to them again. But it's understanding that as you grow, things are growing with you and things are changing. And so we gotta be kind of open-minded enough and flexible enough to allow what's coming into our lives, new people, new resources, new things, new ideas, new opportunities, all of these things. We must allow it, and also be able to let go of the things that were our past, right? And sometimes we grab onto our past so much and we don't want to let go, and so we keep ourselves stuck, and then we say, well, why am I not much better now if I'm doing the work? Well, maybe because you're attaching yourself to the past and you don't want to let go, and so then where you focus on is what you get, right? And that's why
Mhm.
you were saying before, you got to focus on what you do have, not what you don't have. So focus
Mhm.
on the great things that are coming your way and start letting go of the things that are not benefiting you anymore.
Yeah. So that's, I love it. We can just, I can listen to this again and again and again because I always figure, every time we do something like this, I like to go back and I was like, wow, that was a big aha moment. And I'm sure a lot of people listening to are going to have some aha moments from, just what you're sharing. And I love how our frequency and a lot of the same points that we're trying to like share with people are lining up. And once again, it always kind of goes back to how Fernanda and I met. So with that, you might want to share what's going on right now with what we're going to be doing in the next few months. And we've got some changes, but it's something exciting, a lot of great things coming up in 2022. And of course, some of our goals is, even I know for us, is just to continue to reach as many people, bless as many people, encourage as many people to be the best versions of themselves and mind, body, and spirit. And if that's different for everyone, but I know that when we are there, life is just beautiful and amazing. And I would love for everyone to be able to feel that. And I mean, I'm speaking for myself, but I know that a lot is the same with you, Fernanda. You want the best for people as well.
Mhm. Yes, yes. So Dr. Linda and I met almost 2 years ago now. It's gonna be 2 years, I believe, in like March.
We've met, but we haven't had
We've
the
never seen each other.
opportunity to
We've never
be
seen each
together.
other
So
in
we're
person.
hoping that's going to be soon.
Yes. And so we met at a moment, and this is how things happen in the world. I wanted to create a podcast. Dr. Linda wanted to create a podcast. I never listened to this show by Gary Vee, Tea with Gary Vee in the morning. Yet one day I decided to turn on my Instagram, and the show was on, and I'm like, okay, let me listen to what they were talking about. And Dr. Linda happened to be talking to Gary Vee at the time. And when I listened to her, I'm like, oh my God, I resonate with everything she's talking about. Again, talking about vibration, right? My vibration met yours. And so I sent her a private message on Instagram. Hey, you inspire me. It was awesome. Something simple. And Dr. Linda replied, hey, thank you. Where are you at? And I said, well, I'm in Chicago, but I'm moving to Arizona. And then she's like, oh, I'm in Arizona. And so tell me a little bit more about you. Well, I'm a healthcare provider, blah, blah, blah. But I want to start inspiring people from a different way. And so she was in the same journey. And we're like, let's create a podcast. And within a week, we had a podcast. Like,
Yeah.
it happened that quick.
Yeah.
And so we've been doing this podcast now for almost 2 years. It's been an amazing experience. I think we have been very committed, you and I, to doing the podcast,
Mhm.
bring amazing guests, information, value, more than anything, value to our audience over the last almost 2 years. And we're very thankful and glad and really blessed to have the opportunity to do this show for you guys. Now, that being said, we want to pivot it. We want to do something different, something of greater or more value for you all. And so we're going to take some time to create something different. We're going to take some time also to kind of reinvent. We're growing, we're expanding, and we want to create something different, something of equal or more value. So more information will be to come. We don't have a date yet of when we are coming back, but this is our official last day of this 2 years, almost 2 years season of the Wellness Wednesday Inspiration podcast. And we want to thank you all for connecting with us, for listening, for joining us, for your support, and really for listening to different things and ideas that will transform your life if applied.
Yeah. It'll be season 2, and we always seem to go back to, we've got to transform up here before anything else is going to change drastically in our life. And it just all the time, it just always goes back to that. And so I'm working within a lot within myself, and there's a lot of things that I want to be better at, and that is my goal as well. And to continue to share any strategies that help me. That, Fernanda's always sharing a lot of strategies, and she works with a lot of clients as well, more on the mental part. I do a lot with the physical part, but the mental part has to be incorporated with the physical part as well. So I know whatever we're going to have, we have an idea. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be even more than we can imagine. So it'll be amazing, and I'm really excited. And once again, I feel really blessed to have, every week, Fernanda, just come on here with you. You're just so alive and so happy, and just really your love and passion for just a human being just really shows all the time. So I just feel really grateful and just privileged that I've had the opportunity to just for both to share the space. So thank you.
Likewise. Thank you, Dr. Linda. It's been so amazing. I've learned so much from you every single week, and it really has been an amazing experience, from not
Mhm.
knowing each other still personally to literally launching within a week, and 2 years later, almost 2 years later, still having this beautiful connection.
Yeah.
It's been an amazing journey. And so that's proof that the right person will show up at the right moment, at the right time, in whatever it is that you want to manifest in the world.
Absolutely. All right. So that's us checking off for now. And they can find you where, Fernanda? What's the best website?
Yes, so you guys can find me at positiveblueprints.com, or at Positive Blueprints Instagram and Facebook. Also, the company Million in You, you can find us also on Facebook at the Million in You, as well. And what about you, Dr. Linda?
At drlindamarquez.com. That's probably the best place. And also Facebook at drlindamarquez.com. And then that'll send you links to what we're doing with our keto program, Keto Lifestyle for Women, as well. So
Awesome.
I'm excited. So we'll say bye for now, but we will be back. And it might be sooner than you think. I'm thinking maybe probably within I don't know, something's telling me the number 3. So maybe 3 months, maybe sooner. We
All
shall
right.
see, but we will be back for sure, 100%.
We will be back, and Happy New Year's to everyone.
Yes.
Applied some of the concepts that we talked about today, you will see a difference in your life. Nothing changes unless you make a decision that you're going to change. So make a decision that 2022 is going to be your year, because it will be your year. Happy, really happy New Year's to every single one of you.
Yes. Happy New Year's all. And we'll see you until next time. Bye.